Hey, what's going on, y'all? Let me get into it. I think we live anyway. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Last week we missed our session. I'm just going to cover bases on this session today. This is actually week three session where we discuss. Fix that. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? Where we discuss how to follow up without sounding too desperate, right? How to follow up on those job opportunities without sounding like you're too desperate. So we're going to pretty much discuss that today. Get into some information around that. So we're going to have a great conversation. So if you missed week three, I will be covering that today. Um, one moment, we're going to play a video. Uh, I'm going to share this video so y'all can hear. This is Brandon the Ad. I'm going to get all set up.
What if the problem isn't effort, but access? Every day, people are ready to work, but are blocked by barriers: no identification, lack of childcare justice involvement, no work history. Not because they lack motivation, but because they lack access. For too long, we've misunderstood the problem. We've blamed individuals instead of addressing the systems that hold them back. That's where Straight Up Employment Services comes in. We exist to bridge the gap between access and opportunity. We don't just help people find jobs. We create a system of change. We help individuals start their journey by building confidence and taking the first step. We stop the barriers that stand in the way by helping with identification, transportation, and real support. And we sustain success through job placement, retention, and long-term growth. This is about more than employment. It's about transformation, from feeling stuck to finding purpose, from surviving to building stability. With over 250 individuals served and a 75% placement rate, Straight Up is proving that when barriers are removed, people rise. Stronger individuals lead to stronger families, and stronger families build stronger communities. Barriers don't define people. Lack of access does. At Straight Up Employment Services, we believe everyone deserves a fair shot at opportunity. That's why we're launching the No Barriers campaign, a movement to remove the obstacles that stand between people and employment. You can be part of the change. Share your story. Support someone's journey. Hashtag No Barriers on your social media, or sponsor a participant and help turn potential into purpose. Because when access is created, lives are transformed. Join us today. Be the reason someone breaks through. Hashtag No Barriers.
So that's our shout out to Straight Up Employment Services and our marketing guy who that is for our No Barriers campaign that is soon to be launched. We are launching that from actually it's launched already from May 1st throughout the summer where we are addressing that. We are addressing directly the barriers that impact people from actually obtaining employment. That means informing employers on second chance opportunities, reaching out to being heavy on our employment engagement, really reaching out to our clients and informing them on opportunities that and connecting our clients to those opportunities where employers are learning of how they can bridge the gap as well. Today, we will be having a discussion on how to interview without sounding too desperate, how to follow up on the job without sounding too desperate, whether it's an interview or either a job application. All right. Excuse my handwriting. Excuse my handwriting. I know I'm not Mozart or anything, but hopefully you can read it. How to follow up on the job without sounding too desperate. I'm gonna actually launch this PowerPoint for you guys. This is actually gonna be side by side. I'll try to actually launch it side by side so you can see me actually charting while yeah doing this presentation. All right, let's see. I'm gonna actually not do that one. Give me one moment, y'all. Let me pull this up on a different file format. Hopefully I can share that one. Hopefully I can share. Give me one moment. I have some sound in the background that I gotta get out. Um, Give me one moment. I'm live right now. So you can't when you coming in and out, you can't hear the dog. I'm sure you know. Mm, So we're gonna pull up this PowerPoint. Currently pulling up this PowerPoint right now. Give me one moment. There he is. So we got it up and running. So we just want to share it to you guys and make sure you can see it as well. If you can see it, drop a thumbs up when you're able to see it as well. Yeah. So what I want to do is have this side by side. Actually. So again, welcome everybody. Tonight we're talking about something um, that can make or break opportunities, and that's communication, specifically after applying or interviewing for jobs. A lot of people know how to apply for jobs, um, but not everybody knows how to professionally follow up afterwards. And let's be honest, when people are struggling financially, rebuilding after setbacks, or just trying to survive, um, emotions can take over that job search. So people can start feeling pressure, fear, frustration, anxiety, etc., things of that nature. So tonight about is about learning how to communicate professionally, even when life feels stressful. So just a question to throw out there. You can answer in the comment. If you've seen this video, what's the most frustrating part about waiting to hear back from jobs? So answer the question when you get a chance. Throw a comment. What's the most frustrating part about waiting to hear back from a job? It can be frustrating. Um, some people can say, let me just put it in this little box. I can see it here, see it over here. Being ignored, right? Can be frustrating. That's one. That feeling of being ignored, rejection, potential rejection, can be what's really pushing people, right? So as we move forward, why does follow up matters when it comes to employment? As we know, a follow up can actually help um, separate you from other applicants, right? As you know, I've mentioned. Why? Because most people either never follow up or follow up emotionally instead of professionally. So there may be a gap for people who are applying or getting into this competitive job market to really scale in between that. A good follow up shows interest, professionalism, communication skills, initiative, as well as confidence, right? So understand that. So good follow up has interest, professionalism, communication skills, as well as confidence. Sorry about that. I was having some technical difficulties. So, as mentioned, a follow up can actually help separate you from other applicants as it can see whether you are, because let's be clear, some applicants never follow up, or some just way too emotional. A good follow up shows how interested you are, how professional you are, how good your communication skills are, your initiative, as well as your confidence, as we mentioned. We will talk about in the next video. Employers remember people who communicate well. That is very effective for you. Sometimes people think if they want me, they'll call you. Very true. But in this competitive job market, those chances may be slimmer because it's not just you who, who are they looking for. There's other job applicants in that pool. So you may want to, kind of swim with them. That mindset costs opportunities, right? Feeling like they're going to reach out to you. So professional follow up actually shows maturity. All right. So when we get into desperation, right? When it comes to, what does desperation looks like when it comes to applying for, following up on a job application? What does desperation actually look like? I will write that here. Mm. What does desperation looks like? This is important because desperation energy can push opportunities away without you even realizing it, right? So let's be real, there's a difference between needing a job and sounding desperate. And sometimes, based on our situations, our background, and what we're trying to pull through, we can tread that line. What does it look like? So it can look like, let's say, calling and repeating, calling repeatedly, right? Calling often, more than you should be. You should call at least once per week to check on your application. That will give you another time to follow up. You follow up on that time. Sending multiple emails. Multiple emails. Emotional messages. Right. emotional messages, sounding angry. Trauma dumping, pressuring employers. Employers may not know your struggles. They only know how you communicate. So keep that in mind. A bad example, please call me back. I really need this job. Don't send a text or email like that. What's better is I wanted to follow up regarding the position and express my continual interest. That's better. So what do you think employers respond better to? So what professional follow-up looks like? Professional follow-up is simple, right? So what does professional follow-up look like? Professional follow-up is simple. It's respectful. You can put that there. Professional follow-up is respectful. Professional follow-up is confident as well as calm. You don't need to write paragraphs. You don't need to explain your whole life story. I'm sorry if y'all hear that noise across. This is I've been trying to, I go through a lot here. So if you hear that noise across, it's the yelling and stuff. I'm sorry about that. You don't need to explain your whole life story like that, right? Some people get into things where they're explaining too much, like I just did, right? So you don't need to do that. You see how you get eerie? Professional communication says, I respect your time, but I also value myself. That is respectful communication, right? Respectful communication says, I respect your time, but I also value myself. That is what professional communication says. I respect your time, but I also value myself. You want to have a calm tone, a brief message, clear communication, appreciation, and confidence. Confidence gets attention more than paying. Remember that. So, what words sound like professional during follow up? What are some professional responses during follow up? What are some words you can use? I was just put them over here. Plus words. We're going to call this that you could use during follow up. So let's say thank you, saying thank you, right? Appreciate, being intentional, letting them know you're just following up. Interested, opportunity. So when do you can you follow up? When do you follow up? Following up too quickly can look impatient. Following up too much can feel overwhelming to employers. So after after applying, you want to wait 5 to 7 business days. So when to follow up? You want to wait 5 to 7 business days before actually following up. All right. Being able to wait shows great patience. So you want to be able to wait 5 to 7 business days. You want to send a thank you if you uh, applied to went on the interview. Send a thank you email within 24 hours. Within 24 hours. And you want to follow up again within 5 to 7 days. sometimes employers move slow, sometimes HR departments are behind, sometimes hiring managers are busy. Hiring managers are very busy, so silence don't often mean rejection. So just, take those appropriate steps to addressing your concerns with employers. So when we discuss in a professional follow-up email, I don't think I have any more room here, but when we discuss in a professional follow-up email, um, a lot of people overthink those emails. So you want to keep it short and professional. You want to you want to point out that make sure you're emphasizing a clear purpose. You want to have a respectful tone, no emotional pressure, no oversharing, no professional closing. You want to make sure you have a professional closing. You want to have a professional closing. Um, you don't want to avoid, language like "Why haven't I heard back yet?" or things of that nature, or I came there days ago, my application is on file, right? You want to just say things like, I wanted to follow up regarding this position and thank them again for their consideration. You want to be, if you look at this email, I mean, the slide, you can see hello, the name of the employer, right? I wanted to follow up regarding the position and thank you again for your time. I remain interested in this opportunity and appreciate your consideration. Best, say your name. Here is your template. Here's what you can use, screenshot it. This is what you can use to follow up on your jobs. All right. So there's a lot of mistakes that hurt your opportunities. And we're gonna kind of come off. I'm gonna stop sharing to kind of discuss those mistakes that hurt your opportunities. A lot of opportunities are lost through communication mistakes and not really the lack of skill, in which people think like, oh, they don't think I'm skilled enough, or it's really a communication barrier which can hinder an opportunity in a sense. Okay. So it's not skill based or anything as much as people think, but it's really um communication. So you don't want to over contact employers. You want to you want to sway away from, although it may be uh, you know enticing or whatever the case may be, to over contact an employer to look for an opportunity. But you want to kind of stay away from doing that, right? Over contacting, sending emotional messages, um, public complaints on, arguing, quitting after rejection. You don't want to do that, right? Real talk. Some employers absolutely look at your social media, right? And professionalism matters online too. Your frustration may be valid. It may be absolutely valid, but how you handle frustration affects your opportunities. So, what communication mistakes have you seen hurt people professional? There's a thing called confidence versus desperation, right? So when we're talking about the both, I get into this as well, right? Confidence sounds like being prepared. It sounds like being professional, whatever role that is, right? Being calm, being self-aware. Desperation sounds like panic, fear, pressure, emotional reactions. Some of us have survived environments where survival mode becomes the norm or becomes the routine. But professional environments require emotional regulation. And this is what employers look at in those spaces, right? When you apply to a job, when you're following up, how you can handle things that don't go your way. This doesn't mean that you're hiding your struggles. It means that you're learning how to actually communicate strategically through them. So a question that I would have is what what helps you feel more confident professionally, right? And we must be mindful. Let me pull up this slide real quick. If they will say no, there's a chance that employers will say no to you, right? So you got to be mindful of that. Like every opportunity is not doesn't really belong to you, and you must keep it pushing. Although rejection may hurt, right? Especially when people already feel overlooked. But professionalism, however, after rejection matters the most. How you handle that, how you get over that. A lot of people burn bridges in that time, right? In those moments, right? So these are things that you shouldn't do. Now, I don't know about you can see them down here. Don't burn bridges, right? In those moments, build connections, right? Don't argue. If you were told that the job is not for you, don't argue. Don't say you're lost. You should have hired me. Don't say things like that. It may be an opportunity around the corner. Don't attack employers either. Some people go online and give bad reviews because they were not hired, right? Uh, Stay respectful, right? Stay respectful. Right? So today's rejection, as you know, can be tomorrow's opportunity. So stay focused. Stay focused. You can say things like, "Thank you for your time and consideration. I appreciate the opportunity. Although I don't have it, is there any opportunity that later can you keep my resume on file?" Some employees remember professionalism and call people back later because of that, right? And you don't know what jobs are hiring a month later. They know that. They know maybe another position is opening up and they got to get confirmation. And they just have you in mind. So um, for closing, let me just, me just slide ahead on this. As we close tonight, remember, professional communication is a major part of the workforce. Right? A lot of people lose those opportunities because of emotions, right? A lot of people lose opportunities because of this word, right? And hopefully we see it is right here, right? A lot of people lose opportunities because of that, right? And not being able to harness those emotions and bring forward strategic communication is what hinders opportunities. But preparation changes that confidence, right? Uh, Confidence changes communication, and communication changes the opportunities. So you do not need to beg for opportunity. You need preparation, professionalism, and persistence. Um, so what's one thing you learned tonight? Drop it in the comment that you can use immediately. If you see this video, you know someone that's dealing with these type of barriers, feel free to like, share, subscribe. These spaces are very important, specifically to those that are just as impacted, as we are looking to assist them with navigating those complexities. Here at Street of Employment Services, we are that bridge between access and opportunities. We are the gold standards for people who are just as impacted because we really understand them and we really are looking to build our people who are just as impacted to come and help people in the community find jobs just like them, right? The prison is full of people that will be home soon and need opportunities. This is why we are looking to train. We are looking to train and deploy individuals with that lived experience to assist um, in our greater society. So thank you all for chiming in. It's always a pleasure to Please, go into next week's video, employment support group. We will be discussing, how to, really, and, discuss your background in the interview, right? How to really have a discussion around that to sound professional and to keep the same professionalism. So just to follow up before we close out, how to follow up on the job without sounding too desperate. What does being desperate look like? Being desperate look like calling often. It looks like, multiple emails, emotional message, sounding angry. What does professional follow-up look like? Respectful, being confident, being calm. So when to follow up, right? Placement is everything. 5 to 7 business days. You want to send a thank you email after 24 hours of going on an interview. That's very important. And you want to follow up with a follow 5 to 7 business days after that. Another thing, emotions, right? Emotions is the killer when it comes to, uh, that period between, sending off your application or, um, finishing on off, a job interview. And these are very important steps for you all to take. Again, welcome to, our virtual employment support group. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's help people. Let's bridge the gap. Peace.